Alright guys, welcome back to another Hela playtest. This time we're going to be playing against the Pyromancer 3 rounds, and we're going to see, well, first we're going to do 5 rounds, but if Hela wins 3 out of 5, it's best out of 5. So whoever wins 3 rounds first gets the dub. So we're going to try and play 5 rounds. I nerfed her a little bit. So her Knight Sword is the first one we're going to look at. She used to deal 6, 7, 9. Now she does 6, 7, 8. Just a little bit of damage right here. But the biggest nerf is her passive. So we got rid of Evasive because Evasive really wasn't working out. We really didn't use Evasive that much. But her main thing comes with her passive. So now instead of every offensive attack she does, she gets crit afterward. When you deal 8 or more damage, you gain crit afterwards. So essentially she has to attack with 8 or more damage, and then she gains crit for doing that much damage. And then we also have this down here, but that doesn't apply to Pyromancer either. So otherwise, the only thing we removed is Evasive, and instead of the ultimate giving you 2 Evasive, it just activates Deathsire times 5, which just means it does 5 pure damage on top of the ultimate damage. Alright, so we're going to begin with turn order. And I think Pyromancer is going to be a little bit easier, a little bit more damaging than Panther. So let's roll again. Alright, so Hela goes first. Alright, we're going to try and rapid fire this. 4 cards, attack modifier, and we're going to sell that card because it's useless. Okay. That 2 or 6. 2 or 6. Great. I think we just whiffed that. Yep, we did. We didn't actually attack with anything. Well, that sucks. Passed her in a Pyromancer. Shuffle, draw 5 cards. Combustion, upgrade, attack modifier, defense modifier, and a Pyromancer gain. Obviously, we're going to play Getting Paid to get that 3-5 CP. Sell this for 1. Upgrade Combustion with 2. And then, let's see here. That's 0 CP, gain 1 fire faster than the same P as desired for. Okay. Let's do that. Gain 1 Fire Mastery, then let's spend 2 more CP to gain 2 Fire Mastery. So now let's try and get a small string, or a large string, or combustion, either or. Alright, well, 2 or 6. 2 or 6. Man, that's the same thing that happened with, is there anything I can do? No. I just whiffed with both characters trying to get a small string. That's just super dumb. Anyway, that turn was useless for both characters. I don't know if I can ever go for straights after that. Yes. Draw 2. Sell that because it's useless. Well, same thing again. I'm only going to do this once. Is there any other thing that I can get? There's nothing you can do. That's the second whip I've done with this character. What is it? Why are you not rolling more than anything other than 2? Get rid of 1 Fire Mastery, whatever. Reroll, sell that. Can we get 1 character to activate an ability? You know what? Frick it. I'm activating Burning Soul. And collecting 4 Fire Mastery, so I go up to 5, and then I deal 5 collateral damage, so that's 5 damage. Finally, someone dealt damage this turn. With that, I'll pass it to Hela, where she'll try and go for a 3rd whiff in a row. Can you roll like a single dice roll that isn't crap? There. You know what? Roll 5 of these. Nope. Whatever. Deal 7 damage. Didn't do 4 at the time. Let's just deal 7. That is the unluckiest roll I've ever seen. So dealing 5 damage back. So taking 7 damage, dealing 5 damage back. Alright, pass, use Fire Mastery. turn, get a card, Vegas baby. 3, gain 2 CP. Oh, combustion. Gain 1 fire mastery, then activate combustion, move up to 4, so let's remove up to 4, and then deal 4 damage per token. So dealing 16 undefendable damage. Okay. Alright. And with that, we're going to pass turn to Hela, where she's going to actually try and do something for once. Let's get that large straight, I guess. Wow, the same thing again. Let's see if you will actually roll something. Astral Crow, inflict wrath and prevent 3 incoming damage when attacked next. Nice. Inflict wrath. Roll 1 and deal the total value in undefendable damage. 5 undefendable damage. Nice. And then I prevent 3 next attack. Cool. Spend 1, draw 2. Spend 2, draw 3. Sell that. Upgrade that. So if I deal damage, I'm going to get dealt 1 damage for that Wrath token. Let's just activate Pyroblast. Deal 6 and roll 1. Also, we remove 1 Fire Mastery. We rolled a 3, so we're adding 3 damage to that. That's 9. I'm going to spend 1 CP to roll 1. On a 4, inflict burn. On to Hela. And we're going to be dealing 9 defendable damage. 9 defendable damage. Hela's going to deal 1 back in return. And then eat that damage. But she's also going to take 1 from the Wrath. Alright, pass turn to Hela. Hela's going to take, on her upkeep phase, I believe. During upkeep phase, deal 2 damage. So Hela takes 2, draw 1, spend 2, let's draw 3. Let's try and get some stuff here. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do this. Spend that, transfer the burn on the Pyromancer. Don't have any here. Sell this. Is there anything? Where'd that go? Over here? Okay. Let's just do that. Sixes. Three 6s, but I don't have a dice changer, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna activate this. Inflict Wrath and then roll 2 dice and deal the total amount of dice. 4. So deal 4 in defendable damage. She gains 2 Fire Mastery, and then deals 2 back. 2 back. She takes 4, and yeah. All right, pass turn. Pyromancer draw. Move a status effect. Well, I'm gonna say bye bye. I still have to take 2 because that was on my upkeep phase for the burn, but bye-bye to the burn. Not going to keep that on there. And then let's try and go for it. Also, we got to remove a Fire Mastery because of upkeep as well. Fire Blast event again. Deal 6, roll 1. On a gear, inflict burn again. Hela have a thing that allows her to remove status effects? And only on her main phase. She's going to take that burn no matter what. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, deal 6 damage. Defendable. That is going to be able to... She prevents half incoming damage. So that would be 3, so she's only taking 3. And Pyromancer is going to take 1 because of Wrath. Alright, so pass turn to Hela, she takes 2 from burn. Just 1 on the CP dial. Change value to 6. Alright, so let's get rid of this. Where does this go? Where's Soul Drain? No, I don't want to upgrade that. It makes the roll easier, but also doesn't help any much. It does make it easier to roll. I'll do that. Put this all the way down to 1. Wow, we finally rolled a freaking straight. How great is that? A little too late. Alright, cool. Can do deal 7 damage, undefendable damage. 7 undefendable damage, or deal 6 and roll 2, and then add that, inflict wraith, and then gain piercing. It'll be 6, I could add 8 to it. Or activate Death Spire, which does 1, so this is dealing 8 undefendable damage. I'm gonna activate Astral Drain, deal 8 undefendable damage. And then on my main phase, you know what, I'm just gonna sell this and then do this, so I can... Actually, no, that's already, that's a 1 CP card. I'm just gonna spend 1 and remove that burn. Nice. Alright. Pass turn, Pyromancer. Stack by 1, I don't care about that. I don't have any fire mastery. Put down the board. I don't need the board. Trying to roll all these. Let's try and get more fire mastery from that. Alright, 3, so gain 6 fire mastery. I can only gain 4 more. And then deal 5 damage, 5 undefendable damage. Alright. Pass turn. Pyromancer's winning on the next turn. She has 22 health. Okay, I have a 0 CP attack modifier. This attack modifier, which costs 1. Remove this. I can block 6 damage next turn, which could save me. All I gotta do is deal damage. Wow, I rolled a 2-3. I rolled a large straight, finally. Okay. This is, yeah, roll 3? Yeah, roll 3. Roll 3 dice. 6. 9 damage. You know what? I'm gonna spend 1. I'm gonna turn this into a 6. Yeah. Choose any dice value, turn to a 6. So now that's a 14. Dealing 14. Okay, so 14, and then I have 1 CP more. Yeah, let's do this one. 1 CP, Plague of Hell. Roll 5. And we're only adding 1. So that's 14. Plus 1, so that's 15, and on a 6 heal 2 we did. And then this modifier is 0 CP, and we just roll 1 dice. And we add 2 more damage. So that is a total of 14 plus 1, 15 plus 2, 17 defendable damage. Which could very well kill us on this turn. and she did. That is a dub for the Pyromancer. Yeah, 22 minus 17, yeah. Okay, so Pyromancer won by 5. Honestly, Hela used 2 attack modifiers and a pretty powerful attack. She didn't get critical once. Well, she did gain crit from dealing 17 damage, but there really isn't any way that you get... I guess you get 8 from doing this. Oh, I did do 8 damage here. I could have done crit. Well, if we did crit from that attack that we would have gotten, it would have been still down to 1. But that does make it a very close game, and I'm actually thinking Hela may be a little bit balanced now. But we'll see. So that was round 1. Pyromancer won by 1 point, if we count the critical. She won by 5, otherwise if we don't. But yeah, I think Hela may be balanced now that we've made that crit a little bit harder to get, and the evasive doesn't really... And I really think the only thing that was I think the only thing that made Hela very overpowered was the fact that she gained crit on every turn. But other than that, this round started off pretty poorly for both of them. I whiffed twice on Hela and once on Pyromancer, which is pretty damn sad, but that's what I get for tracing straights. Anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Like if you like, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you really liked it down below. Comment down below what matchups you'd like to see next, and of course I'll see you guys with round 2. Toodaloo!